Line.
I'm going to actually jump in myself and add a little bit to this blogger question because it's very tantalizing. I worked at a company previously that used a lot of bloggers. I'm going to keep that nameless. But I kind of disagreed with the way we were treating our bloggers. They were telling the bloggers what to write. They were, putting pressure on the bloggers. And it was very funny when we recruited bloggers. It was just like, recruit everyone who has a blogger, anyone who has a pulse who has a blog online, which is completely like, I get it. You're looking for numbers. You want to get that ROI, but really, is everyone who's you got to look at the blogger's audience. Is the girl reading that blog or is the guy reading that blog the readership you want? Are they the potential customers and the potential targets of your brand? You can't just blanket oh, we just want all bloggers blogging about us. I mean, it doesn't look authentic. It's not effective, and it makes it the whole relationship with the blog. I mean, if you wanted to date everybody, it looks very insincere. It doesn't look sincere. So mine is sort of like a warning tale of maybe what not to do. My future campaigns with bloggers, I think it'll be very different. We'll nurture that relationship. We'll carefully select the bloggers to help craft the brand voice. But okay, enough about that. I'm going to, I'm so sorry. I'm going to pass this on to Shay about the mommy bloggers, and then Kiri about more lifestyle bloggers.
Sure. So we love bloggers over at Little Steps, you might be familiar with the phenomenon that's going on with the mommy and daddy bloggers, especially in the U.S. I mean, they are given cars, they're given trips. It's just amazing. I mean, the number of followers that a lot of these mommy and daddy bloggers have, in the U.S. particularly, is really, really interesting. Out here in Asia, it's still quite new, and one thing that Little Steps has done is that we actually go out and research and try to find these mommy and daddy bloggers, and every year we actually introduce our Little Steps readers to the best of mommy and daddy bloggers that we've found in the region. A lot of these are, some are well known within their cities, and some are really interesting writers that we just find are, have great stories on their own personal blogs that they would like to share and people would be interesting in. What's great for us is that we help each other out. We introduce our readers, our partners to these mommy and daddy bloggers across the region, a lot of which were unknown until we put it out there on a regional front. In return, they help us. They give us tips. As we expand regionally, they introduce us to people. They have just been amazing on a lot of different levels, especially, even when we were doing the Little Lux series in the various cities, we reached out to these mommy and daddy bloggers as well, and they were extremely helpful. Additionally, they're excited to be part of the Little Steps mommy and daddy community. So, they're putting badges up, they're saying thank you, which in turn obviously introduces their community to ours. So overall, it's something that we would like to keep pushing. It's a community that we're focused on with the mommy and daddy bloggers, similar to those outside of Asia, and it's certainly growing. It's exciting.
Kiri, well, I want to touch upon lifestyle bloggers too. So.
Okay, at Sinclair Communications, we work with, in many different spheres. So we work with food bloggers, we work with fashion bloggers, lifestyle bloggers, and that lifestyle bloggers are people who cover a whole range of interests, whether that be a new, amazingly designed house, a cool pair of shoes, whatever takes their interest. I think the thing to remember is that a blogger is a person, as we've been saying, and that people have different interests and different ways of speaking, and it's really important for a brand, no matter what it is, to go out there and find bloggers that like them, to find someone that represents their brand well, not try and just work with any blogger or the biggest circulation or whatnot. But, if you're going to do a big campaign that's coming out and say, oh, your clothes are green and green looks terrible on this blogger, don't work with them. You've got to really think about that. When it comes to lifestyle, though, we work with a lot of food bloggers, and this being Hong Kong, there's a lot of food bloggers. So there's very many bloggers that work within traditional media or online media. There's also bloggers that, they have their own open rice page and have, 10,500 and have visited every restaurant in Hong Kong and have their opinions. And you all look at open rice, whether you want to admit it or not, and you make decisions on where you go. The majority of research now is saying that Hong Kongers make decisions based on reviews by others. So Warm Guide, Open Rice, so forth, the reviews that are being written there are the ones that people are listening to and using to make restaurant decisions. Bloggers are very, very important. And so where you tend to read your blogs on food is either on something like Open Rice, Warm Guide, or on Facebook where you've seen it shared on and so forth. And so those reviews are increasingly make or break businesses. It's the way that 15 years ago, one review in, say, the New York Times used to close a restaurant in New York. Well, one bad review by a top blogger in Hong Kong will now close a restaurant in Hong Kong. So how do we go about working with them? I think we've all got to remember that, again, it's all about people's tastes and so forth. All you can do is to make sure that you are open, that you do engage people with your brand and what you're saying and what you're offering, that you're not trying to walk someone in and give them a specific menu, here's a taster menu, this is all you're going to have. Maybe they really like mushrooms, and had they been able to choose the mushroom dish on the menu, your review would have been so much better. It's little things, and I'm just trying to bring little examples to it. But being open and working with the person who's behind that blog is the best way to get the best content that you work together to create. So it's about being transparent, it's about being authentic, it's about allowing the blogger to meet the people that represent the brand the best, whether that be, say, the chef, the architect, the designer, and so forth, and let them make their relationships together so that that content, again, has authentic voice and comes from a source that the blogger knows is true.
All right, so we've given our sort of take on the very valuable voices that bloggers play within the social media realm. But I'm going to ask sort of a rapid fire question now. This one is, just as you're very discriminating and choosing who you have involved with your brand, we need to be the same with social media as well. So I'm going to ask each of you, are there certain social media channels you use more? Are you focusing? And then for me, for example, I decided I couldn't be on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, just like everything. Even for my personal brand, I realized I need to focus on maybe 3. So my prime 3 are like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm trying with Weibo, but I don't write Chinese yet, so it's a bit difficult. Let me start with. We'll just go down the row. Joanne.
We use Facebook a huge amount. Most of our efforts concentrated on that, and then. Although, of course, we cover every platform. And then lately, we've been using The Fancy a lot, which is a new curated shopping not a shopping platform, it's a curated visual sharing platform, which has a monetization component where people can shop from posts, which are chosen because they're visually compelling. And it's huge. And one of their main investors is actually Jack Dorsey, and it's already at 1.5 million people and just launched at the beginning of this year.
We're on most programs, but for us it's Facebook, Twitter, and Weibo, just because we have a growing presence in China. But Instagram, Pinterest, kind of, sort of, maybe we talk about that a bit more, but we also, through our social networking site, Elect, which is a sister business, we do a lot through that. But yeah, Facebook, Twitter, Weibo for us. Yeah.
Similar platforms. By far, Facebook is our biggest channel. That's where we're investing most of our resources as well, as far as new contests, new apps to try. Right now, we're actually hosting a online photo contest called My Hong Kong that we are hosting on the Little Steps Hong Kong Facebook page. And we have a great crew of celebrity judges that we'll be announcing tomorrow. And prizes.
We like the prizes. At Sinclair Communications, at the agency, we predominantly use Facebook and Twitter and Weibo. We also use LinkedIn because, of course, we're trying to connect our clients to people throughout the world that can be a source, a stakeholder in some way or another. And so with LinkedIn, I actually use my personal LinkedIn a lot more than I use the business LinkedIn. I think that, again, LinkedIn is really about people. People want to speak between people, and that makes a lot of sense. On behalf of our clients, we look after social media strategies for over 75%, I would say, of our clients. So whether it's helping them to strategize and then they post, or we strategize together and then we post, either way works. We work predominantly, I would say, on Facebook, but we also run Twitter and Weibo. Weibo is increasingly, as I said earlier, very important for things like we look after many luxury watch clients. And luxury watches, especially Swiss-made luxury watches, are something like 75% of them, don't quite quote me on that one, but are sold in Hong Kong. But it's not Hong Kongers buying them, it's the North coming south for their shopping expeditions. And so therefore Facebook doesn't work with that. It's Weibo that we focus on for something like that. But for Facebook, we do engage on many different platforms. For example, one competition we're running now is working with the client Asia Contemporary Art Show, and they have an art prize, Hong Kong Young Art Awards, that is currently on Facebook, and so there's 10 Hong Kong artists that are under the age of 35 that have the chance to win $25,000 cash for being the People's Prize, so the most liked on Facebook within this campaign. Again, another charity initiative, which is why I'm shouting it out. So do go on and vote. It's absolutely amazing how much talent there is in Hong Kong. But so the top 10 are there, and it's things like that that we do with our clients. And in Hong Kong, the reason we're all saying Facebook, it is the biggest social media output or platform that we have here, and it's dual language, which is perfect for us.
Claire.
Okay, I'll take you through our main four, and in fourth place would be Pinterest. We've only recently just got started on that, and just testing it out like a lot of people and a lot of brands are as well. We're on there as a brand, as Heels and Deals. In third place is LinkedIn. I use it personally, as Kiri said, to connect and engage with people. And because at Heels and Deals we're offering help and support in a community, I often reach out when I see female entrepreneurs on there that I know maybe in this market or in the Middle East that we can help. We're also on LinkedIn as a LinkedIn group as Heels and Deals, and that's okay. It's a bit sort of slow sometimes. I find that a lot of people go on to do a lot of promotion on LinkedIn groups and not so much engagement. So that's something that we're really trying to step up. And then really in joint first and second place is Facebook and Twitter, as I was saying before. So Facebook, we're on there just as Heels and Deals at the moment as a brand, and then on Twitter as Heels and Deals HK, and also I have my own page or account on Twitter as Claire_Fenner. And one of the challenges there as a brand owner is that a lot of people want to connect with me as the individual through LinkedIn, Twitter and Facebook, and it's a challenge to work out how to actually manage that. I'm not sure, are we going to come on to that question, Jennifer, or...
We've been sort of touching upon
That's
it.
fine. So for me, I use all of those tools differently as a brand owner, as an entrepreneur, and as a brand. And I give different messages and different stories and engage in different ways. I'm not on Twitter saying, yes, I've just had cornflakes for breakfast, but I will talk about things of entrepreneurial relevance. But where the brand really comes into play is very specific items that are very specific to the brand, stories, connection, and collaboration. And Facebook and Twitter we use pretty much, I would say, sort of jointly in terms of usage. They've both been extremely popular and really good tools for us. Again, we're still learning, as everybody is, but they're the two main ones for us.
Okay, so now my next question is when things take a turn for maybe the worst, or actually not necessarily the worst, but when it comes to social media, we were talking about using it to disperse information about the brand, but a lot of us have been using it to use as an aid for customer service, or actually as a customer service platform, and then in some cases even for crisis management. I have a brief anecdote in my group buying days. One of our biggest deals that sold was a Macau Dragon ferry ticket, and then when it went under, we alerted the public before it even came out in the traditional media that, okay, they had gone out of business and that we were already processing the refunds. So within a few days, people got the refunds versus a few months when finally Groupon made some of the refunds back to their customers. So that was an example of a crisis situation.